Hey everybody, it's Ilya again for Phoenix Fitness Flow, and this is the motivation for the week. Again, this is from the Especialito, their Motivaciones Diarias, which is daily motivations. And, oh, I just missed it. Where did you go? Ah, yes. This is another good one. Okay, so, la vida es como un jardín. Si no lo cuidas, se llena de malas hierbas. So, your life is like a garden. If you don't take care of it, you're going to get, well, hierbas is herbs, but I'm assuming they mean kind of weeds in this case. You know, I've seen unkempt gardens. You see a lot of the weeds, and it's not groomed, and it doesn't look healthy. It looks dry, you know, sometimes. And it also depends on the weather, you know, how bad things might get in that garden. But going back to what they said is that your life is like a garden. If you don't take care of it, what's going to happen? So many things, right? Well, I mean, I always identify with a lot of these, and this is a big one because, oh gosh, you know, sometimes I say to myself, I'm in the situation I'm in because I didn't take care of myself. I never addressed the stress when I had it, when I was going through it. I kind of let it build and build. I didn't take care of myself. And sometimes taking care of yourself means taking a stand against whoever's making you stressed or whatever the situation is, getting out of that situation. I didn't get out of the situation. It's when you let it happen on a daily basis, you start to believe it. And when you start to believe it, ooh, that can take you to a place that you don't want to be in. So the stress arises, the depression comes in, you don't start taking care of yourself, forget it, like why bother, because you're in that dark place, so you don't care anymore. And that can be a huge thing to get out of. You know, bad health can be, it's a mountain to climb and a struggle to get healthy again. So for me, for instance, the stress affects my stomach. For other people, it can be the heart. It can be, you know, blood pressure. It can be so many different things. Some people, if they're stressed, they eat a lot of different things. They can, you know, turn to sweets. I can understand that, you know, because it's comforting. Personally, I don't really eat when I'm under a ton of stress. But if I do, I'll grab a donut, you know, that sort of thing. At least back then I did. Now it's a little different. But the point is that you need to prioritize yourself. It's hard to do that because I find it hard to do that because you can look at yourself, like I look at myself right now. I'm like, you know, there have been days where I look at myself, I'm like, you're disgusting. I can't even stand to look at you. Like, gross, yuck, you know, that sort of thing. For so many different reasons. Either it's because the way I look, or because I look older, or because I look stressed, or my body's lumpy from my stomach. My stomach is lumpy because of the IBS, the gastritis, the inflammation, blah, blah, blah. There's just so many different things. And then you stop taking care of yourself again and again and again. But addressing the stress or addressing whatever it is just 100% important so that you can get your health back. I'm on that road yet again. And this time I have put 100% into it. The only thing that's stopping me this time is the help of doctors who are the ones that are dismissing me. So I'm still trying supplements, vitamins, herbs, powders, drinks, you know, exercise, meditation, hypnotherapy, probiotics, mushroom probiotics, you name it, I've tried it. But I'm continuing to try it. I owe it to myself, and I sure as sugar know that my dad wouldn't want me to continue the path that I've been on in giving into the depression and giving into the stress and all of that, that really is a hindrance to my health. And that should be the same for you. Make sure you prioritize yourself. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself in whatever you need to take care of yourself in. It can be in your eating habits. Maybe you're eating too much takeout. Maybe you're, maybe not eating takeout, but you're eating too much sweets. Or you're eating pretty good, but you're not exercising. Definitely have to, exercise the ticker, that heart. Because especially if you live a life where you're just sitting down all the time, which is a lot of us, if you're working from home, make the effort to get up. Set an alarm, to get up. If you have, one of those smartwatches, have an alarm where it tells you to stretch, to get up, so that you're not sitting all the time. Because sometimes you don't even realize it. You're so into it and you're just looking at the computer, all hypnotized, trying to get everything done, and the hours just go by. So it's important to do something, be proactive about your health in any way you can. Like I said, if it's takeout, maybe you can make your own food. It's expensive, so maybe you have to look online for something, cheaper recipes, they have plenty. Like Jamie Oliver on his website, he has a lot of, recipes that are on a budget that you can make, that you'd be able to afford. Because let's be honest, it's hard these days. Like we had that period of time where the eggs were like $8 to $10 depending on where you were going, and sometimes you had to walk like 20 blocks just to get them a buck cheaper, and lettuce can be expensive. 2 months ago, my mom's friend said that she overheard somebody asking how much the cauliflower was, and that was like, I think, $8 or $9 for just a cauliflower head. So it can be tough in that respect, but there's always something that you can do. As far as stress, there's meditation. There is, of course, hypnotherapy, depending on what you need it for. In my case, it was the digestive system, IBS and whatnot. But there's meditation, all kinds of meditation. There's guided meditation. There's, there's transcendental meditation. That's the one that I do the most. But there's other little ones, where it's just music. Walking meditation is another one where you're, make sure you're aware of your surroundings. But like if you are near a track, I'm fortunate enough to be a couple of blocks from a track. Just walk around the track. It's just meditative, and how do you do that? You're walking, you just smell the air, look at the trees, depending on where the track is situated. I can see the trees because the track is in a park. But if you are in a park, of course, like I said, be aware of your surroundings. But if you can do it, just, smell the trees, especially now since it's warm outside. You're smelling the trees, you're smelling the grass, you're smelling the flowers. If you have issues with allergies, that might be a little bit difficult. You can walk in maybe a different area, or even, do your walking. It's not the same walking meditation on a treadmill, but if that's the only option that you have, then, if you have like a phone, just kind of have in the background maybe like a YouTube channel where they're just showing you nature shots. You can have your headphones in too, and maybe it's like there's plenty of those channels that have nature shots with music attached to them. So it can be Japanese flute music, or it can be just, piano, guitar, whatever it is. They have plenty of those. They can range from an hour to 3 hours. Not going to be on the treadmill for that long, but however long you want. If that's the only option you have, you could try that. It'll be good for your health to get out, to walk, to eat better, to meditate, take up a hobby. Some people relax with reading a book. They can relax knitting or painting. Painting's another big thing. If you don't have a canvas or paints to paint like Bob Ross, they have plenty of other different things in, Michael's or other stores where they have arts and crafts. Like my brother got me I'm looking at it right now. It's a a paintable canvas wall art. So it's like, it's an octagon shape, and they have the paints already included, so we could just paint that right in. Coloring books are not just for kids. Coloring books, they also have for adults that you can color and just, put some nice music on and just whatever colors you want. Just, it is soothing, because I have done it before, and my dad, he had the Alzheimer's. It was pretty soothing for him before he got really bad, and he'd spend quite some time doing that. He also loved word search. That's another thing that you can do to relax, or relaxing the body and the mind. That's another way of taking care of yourself. A word search. Why? Because you're just focused on that. You're just listening to some music, maybe have some music in the background. To me, music is a big deal. It's very soothing, whether it's jazz, which I really, really, really enjoy when I'm working. It's very soothing, but it can be so many different things: flutes, guitars, pianos. Even if relaxing is listening to 80s music or something that you remember from your youth, then that's fine. Anything that helps you relax can help your body, can help your mind, and it can just really help you get better, and that's a way of taking care of yourself. Doesn't always have to be just these things. There can be so many different things aside from, exercise, food, and whatnot. It can also mean taking care of yourself, getting your eyes checked, getting, a physical, getting whatever it is, to make sure that you're working, your body's working at its optimal level. So those are little things. There's so many others that you can do to take care of yourself, because you're the only one, right? There's only one you, and shouldn't you give yourself the best? I hope that you like this meditation, and I will be back next week with another motivational video.